Every team is special. This team is right along with those guys. This team might have a little more sentimental value to it just because of the proximity of ages of these kids to my son Brock. A lot of these kids grew up playing Little League, grew up swimming at my house, sleepovers at my house, so I've known them all. The majority of them I've known since they were elementary age kids. I've got to have the pleasure of watching them kind of grow into men and see what they become. So this team is real similar to a lot of the other teams that we have. I mean, they fight and they scrap. They never give up. I think that they put their own egos on the back burner, and that's a learned thing. That doesn't just come automatically. And so through the years, there's some speed bumps that we have to navigate to get there. But I think we've done that, and I couldn't be more proud of this team, just like I am with all the teams. I mean, this team is right in there with them. Our guys don't have very good poker faces. So I knew when I walked over, it was just a matter of whether I was going to get it from the front, whether I was going to get it from the back, whether I was going to get it when I walked around the dugout. I mean, I knew that it was going to come, but it never gets old. I was so proud of these guys to accomplish what they accomplished. The Gatorade bath can't be something that you fear. You've got to look forward to that. We had our section meeting last night. We're talking about teams, and coaches said, well, Tolleson's expected to be there every single year. That made me feel good because it used to not be that way. And now we're mentioned as one of the teams that's expected to go to the state tournament. And as a coach, that's all you can hope for, is that you get to that level where your kids are regarded as relevant and you're a relevant program in the state. Anytime you're talking about the JV team, you're talking about younger guys that are still developing. What we try to stress to our JV coaches and our JV players is it's not about the wins and the losses. We put it in terms of minor league baseball. The Diamondbacks don't go down to their minor league system and say, well, you guys need to win every single game. What we're trying to do is we're trying to develop kids so they can contribute at the varsity level. And sometimes that means sacrificing some wins. What I tell the coaches, the things that I want our guys to be able to bring to us next year are they know that they're going to have to make grades, they need to be at practice, and they need to be on time. The baseball stuff will take care of itself eventually, but those three things are important to me. And I think our coaches did a good job with that. Sometimes it's a tough deal. Again, when you put it in terms of minor league baseball, if you go down to the single A level, all those guys are hungry. They're all playing hard. When you get to the triple A level, not so much. Some of those guys think they deserve to be there, and so you have some guys that have mixed feelings, or guys that might have even played at the highest level and that are going down. And so it's a delicate balance, balancing those two things out. Kids that are right on the verge of having what it takes to play varsity, and guys that are still developing. But I think our guys, they finished strong. I think they won their last 3 or 4 games. I know that the two of the pitchers that we had down there were contributing members of our varsity team, and they're going to be big contributors next year. So we're looking forward to seeing how those guys develop and how summer ball goes, and see how many of them can help us out next year. Our freshman team, we were excited about them from the get-go. Let's be real, at the freshman level, if you can get 6 guys that can just play catch, you're excited. And so when we saw them working out at the beginning, we had not only 6 that can play catch, but we had about a dozen that can play catch at a high level. And not only can they play catch at a high level, we had about 5 of them that can pitch at a pretty high level. So we were excited about how this season was going to pan out. And there's a real possibility of 4 or 5 of those kids maybe bypassing the JV level and having a chance to contribute as a sophomore. But they were a fun group. Whenever you watch the freshmen, sometimes you watch them and you scratch your head. You don't know what team's going to show up. Sometimes they look like freshmen, and sometimes they look like world beaters. But that goes along with the whole gig of being around 14, 15-year-old kids. You don't know what you're going to get from day to day, and that's what makes the job interesting. We break the kids up into teams. They compete, grades count, the fundraising efforts when we sell cookie dough is taken into account. We have some physical contests that we do. We have some team contests. We get them in the pool and they swim, and we find out that It's probably thankful that our guys aren't on the swim team because we have some horrible swimmers. They sink better than they swim. We do tug of war, we do tire flip, farmer's carry. We do a bunch of fun events. We also do the physical events where we're testing some of the things that we need to test as far as trying to measure gains from the time we start to the time we stop. And I think it's been invaluable in teaching kids how to compete. The Christmas party we started 2 or 3 years ago. It was just a really neat thing. We had invited all the kids in the program, and it's been a great success. This year, my daughter had some ideas that she wanted to implement. I told her, whatever you would like to do. You know, I'll cook or whatever.
If you can get anything right, Santa said to Lefty, Santa, don't be mine.
So I think the kids had a good time, and it gets us away from the baseball part of it, and you just get to meet on a social atmosphere, and it's kind of a family time. We talk family a lot to our kids, and for them to be able to interact with each other away from the baseball field kind of puts that into reality a little bit. It's not about the gift thing. It's just about getting together and showing thanks to each other for what we do. And I probably don't tell the kids enough that, how much I appreciate them. I'm really quick to correct them, but probably not quick enough to tell them, hey, thank you, and you've done a nice job. We started the Fiesta Bowl fundraiser about 4 years ago. We took it over from the old cross-country coach that was here, and he knew that our kids in the past, we've been pretty organized, and our kids work hard. We jumped at the opportunity, and it's been a really good deal for us. We were fortunate enough to get our softball team involved to help out. Just by sheer numbers, you need almost 100 people doing that. It's kind of a team bonding thing too, spending some time over Christmas break, a lot of standing there, bagging. You can find out a lot about kids and their work ethic when you put them to work and they have to do some self-driven type things. The kids that have done it several times now, it might not be so much fun because it's a little bit of work once you get into the University of Phoenix Stadium. But it's been a good deal. I mean, it put some money in our program, and we're able to learn a little bit about each other and commitment levels, and it takes some stress off some of the parents' pocketbooks. The Arizona Total Baseball Camp, I've been involved in that for a long time, and we've always taken a lot of kids. It went from 3 or 4 kids to 6 or 7 kids to we've taken as many as 15 kids. The gentleman that runs the camp gives our guys a pretty substantial break to be able to attend that, and it's been a great deal for our seniors, just for name recognition and getting in front of college coaches. All the coaches that work this camp are junior college coaches locally, and the majority of our kids have opportunities to go to those coaches' schools just from the simple fact that they know the coaches. The coaches know them. They coach them at the camp. They play on their teams at the camp, and I've always gotten excellent feedback about all of our kids. Our kids conduct themselves the right way. They play the right way. The coaches are very impressed with how our kids just go about their business. Yes sir, no sir. Look them in the eyes. They can joke with them, and I think it's been a good deal for our kids to interact with college coaches. And we talk about when you shake a man's hand, how you do that, and looking people in the eyes and stuff like that. Signing day for us this year was exciting. We had one young man who was able to sign in the November early signing period, which was Billy Wilson, going to Loyola Marymount. And then we had other players that signed in the first permissible signing date for junior colleges. It was nice to invite their families out and kind of honor them here on the field. I think it's important for the parents to come out and be a part of that. I mean, it's a big day for all those kids to be able to sign early like that and kind of enjoy their senior year. It's always good to recognize those kids for the hard work they've been putting in, and recognize the parents for the sacrifices that they've made to allow their kids to continue playing this game. The coaching staff here at Tolleson High School, I can't say enough about those guys. We ask a lot from them. We've got 3 coaching stipends that we deal with here at Tolleson High School, and currently they're split up 7 different ways. So without doing the math, these guys are pretty much working for green chili burros and all you could eat in the snack bar. And for some of them, we got a couple coaches that get their money's worth in the snack bar. I'm not going to mention any names. I think they know who they are, but I couldn't do it without them, and that's the truth. I've found some guys that are able to commit their time in the summer and the fall and work with kids. I think our coaches do that a lot because they like the kids. Our kids are respectful. We've got a brand new coach this year, Coach Goodwin. He made a comment to me that in his 40 plus years of coaching, he's never been around a group of kids that were as respectful as our kids. It makes it easy to coach here because the kids and the parents allow us to do our job. We couldn't do 5% of the stuff that we do without their input. Our Tolleson fans, unbelievable, especially this year with Mr. and Mrs. Wyman and the Booster Club buying the shirts. We're halfway color coordinated anymore. I think it's a huge home field advantage. And our athletic director told us that if we were to charge a gate, that we would probably compete with the gates that the football team gets. We have a very large crowd base. They follow us around. They're connected. A lot of them are on our Facebook page, and it makes the kids feel relevant when they look up there and we've got a packed house. And I know the kids appreciate it. Our seniors this year here at Tolleson, I can't say enough about them. All the way back in September, we started putting pressure on them, talking about legacy, talking about what does legacy mean? What is your mark going to be on the Tolleson baseball program? These are the things that we talk about, that we challenge about leadership. Having 10 seniors this year, we've never had that many, ever. And like I tell the kids throughout the year, I don't really feel that I did these guys any favors. I don't think I kept any of them because I liked them. I kept them because we thought that they fit a role, and I think that most of the kids understood their role, and I think most of our seniors, accepted that role and excelled at it, regardless of what that role was. But throughout the year, we asked them to run practice, to help the younger guys, to be assistant coaches. We asked them to be leaders around campus. And I think they rose to that challenge. I mean, this senior class, you look back and we start talking about the legacy that they left is, 20 plus games. Section champions, again, making it to the state tournament, but just what a great group of guys that you can look back on. And I remember when each one of them came into the program. Obviously, some of these seniors have been on the varsity roster for 4 years. Billy and Isaac, they're 4-year lettermen, 4-year starters. Some of the guys, this is their first year on varsity. They put the time in, and so I think that helps in showing and teaching some of our JV guys that maybe you're in a position, you're in a log jam at your position, and your senior year might be that only time that you're on varsity. Make the best of it. You look at kids like Josh Finlayson, George Olage, Carlos Pena. A lot of those guys haven't been major contributors in the past, but man, look at the job that they did this year. Every one of those guys did an outstanding job. Some of our seniors have had some speed bumps along the way. When you look at Xavier Terrazas, trying to get some of the academic stuff taken care of when he was a freshman and sophomore, and then bouncing back and having a great junior and arguably one of the best players in the section as a senior year. I mean, all of those guys really left their mark on the program. New additions, with Dom Rodriguez coming in and everybody thinking, well, God, what's going to happen? Whose position is he going to take? The advantage we had with Dom is he knew all these kids. He grew up with all these kids. We opened our arms to him in the summer and we accepted him as one of ours. And again, there was some speed bumps along the way that all of us had to endure, but I think we did that. I'm glad that Dom was here. I think he fit in great with our team. Vinny Ortega dealing with some injuries early in the year and really having to take his time to get back into playing shape. But he did that, communicated, was able to get his rehab done with our trainers and comes back stronger than ever, swinging the bat. Henry Vasquez, another senior who last year chose to take some classes and kind of limited some of his playing time last year because he's an academic kid. He comes in and he's our starting catcher, does a great job for us and doesn't miss a beat from really not playing that much last year. Elias Lucero, He's a 3-year starter for us. As a sophomore, he was probably our number one. He got all the tough assignments his sophomore year. Loses a one-run game to Chaparral when first-round draft pick hits a ball that might still be flying, bounces back and kind of took some lumps as a junior, and then he comes back and posts great numbers this year. Goes 6-2. So every one of these seniors contributed in a huge way. It's going to be a shame to see them go, but I can't tell you how proud I am of each and every one of those guys, of what they were able to leave here at Tolleson High School. They definitely left their mark on the program, and again, one of our discussions with the seniors was, what do you want your teammates to say about you next year? Do you want them to say, let's not do like the guys last year? Or do you want them to say, hey, we've got to, the bar has been risen, we got to rise to that? And I think without a doubt, these guys have raised that bar and left their mark on Tolleson High School. It is going to be kind of a postpartum depression going on when they leave. They're taking some of the things that would give me heartburn. They're taking those away too. So that'd be nice. But yeah, we're going to miss these guys a lot.